Hey brother, welcome back. Today, we're revealing 10 psychological truths about older women that most men never even consider. In fact, studies show that nearly 97% of men have no clue how these emotional patterns work and that ignorance costs them attraction, respect, and lasting connection. But you don't have to stay in that 97%. If you apply what you're about to learn, you'll step into the rare 5% of men who don't chase, they magnetize. And to the women watching, this isn't just for men. Understanding these truths about yourselves can help you embrace what truly makes you powerful and unforgettable. Now, before we go deep, do me one favor. Don't just listen. Reflect. Absorb. Because once you see these patterns, you can't unsee them. Let's get real. Most men think female attraction comes from money, looks, or smooth talk. It doesn't. What actually pulls her in is presence, subtle energy, confidence in silence, and the things she feels, but you never say. These are the rules she plays by. But no one teaches you. Until now, what you're about to hear isn't just dating advice. It's a shift in how you carry yourself around women, especially those who've lived, loved, and lost. If you miss it, you stay blind. If you see it, you move different. Let's begin. Number 1. Women fall in love because of smell. Most men think attraction starts with the eyes, but for women, it often begins with the nose. Here's the hidden truth. If you're not paying attention to how you smell naturally, you might be sabotaging your chances before you even say a word. This isn't about flashy cologne or trendy grooming. It's about biology. A study from the Federal University of Rio de Janeiro found that a woman's attraction to a man can increase by up to 85% when she enjoys his scent. Why? Because scent isn't surface, it's subconscious. Women have 50% more neurons in their olfactory bulb than men. That means her brain is picking up signals you can't detect: pheromones, stress, testosterone, all without her being aware of it. And yet, most guys drown their scent in chemicals or skip hygiene altogether. That's how you become invisible. You're off her radar before you even get close. The solution: choose a scent that enhances, not masks, your natural chemistry. Clean, masculine, understated. Think wood, musk, spice. One spray on the neck, one on the wrist. Done. Then let her lean in. Let her notice you. Let her feel something without knowing why. Because when a woman catches your scent and it aligns with her biology, you don't need pickup lines. Her body remembers. Her mind replays. And your presence lingers long after you've gone. That's not manipulation. That's nature, working in your favor if you know how to use it. Number 2. Women prefer men who have their own way. Let's be brutally honest. There's nothing attractive about a man who constantly bends, adjusts, and waits for a woman to decide everything. Especially older women. They've already dated that type. The agreeable guy, the people pleaser, the man who morphs himself into whatever she wants until she gets bored and walks away. What actually captures a woman's attention, particularly one who's mature, grounded, and self-aware, is a man who walks his own path. He's not waiting for approval. He doesn't need direction. He moves with purpose because his life already has momentum. Having your own way doesn't mean being cold. It means you're clear. You make decisions based on your values, not based on her mood. That's what separates a man she respects from a man she manages. See, A woman can be powerful, intelligent, and independent, and still crave a man who leads from inner conviction. It's not about dominance. It's about direction. When you walk into a room, she notices, does this man know who he is, or is he just mirroring everyone else? You might think it's romantic to say, whatever you want, but she hears weakness. She sees a man without standards, without structure, and without spine. If you can't lead in the little things, where to eat, what to do, how can she trust you to lead when life gets unpredictable? Women, especially older women, aren't looking to mold a man. They're looking to meet one fully formed. They want to know what you believe in, what you live for, and what you'll never compromise. When you shrink to become more agreeable, you lose her curiosity, and without curiosity, désir dit. So here's your shift. Stop asking, how do I become what she wants? And start asking, does she align with who I already am? Your life is the frame. She's not the painting. She either complements the picture, or she doesn't belong in it. When she sees you moving forward with or without her validation, when she sees that your steps don't change based on her reactions, that's when attraction begins. That's when she leans in, because strength creates space, and in that space, desire grows. If you want to stop being shaped, start being solid. And lead your life without apology. Say it with me, I walk my path. Number 3. Women often feel something but won't say it. Here's a truth most men miss. Just because a woman isn't saying anything doesn't mean nothing's happening inside. Especially older women. One of the biggest mistakes men make is believing that silence means indifference, that her calmness means she's checked out, that if she's not speaking, she's not feeling. That's false. Women are emotional beings by design, but mature women. They've learned not to wear their feelings on their sleeves. They've learned to protect their hearts, read energy, and stay composed. What you think is disinterest might actually be depth. Often, the more a woman feels, the quieter she gets. She might pull back slightly, respond slower, say less. Not because she's done, but because she's observing. She's studying your presence, your stability, your patience. She wants to know, do you notice the shift? Do you respond to subtle energy or only what's loud and obvious? This is where emotional intelligence becomes your edge. Because the man who feels without being told is the man who stands out. If you need everything explained, you'll lose her. But if you catch the small signs, a hesitant smile, the laugh that feels slightly off, the way her eyes shift, that's when you win. Older women don't want to walk you through every emotion. They want a man who simply gets it, the one who senses the storm behind her silence, who hears I'm fine and knows that's not the whole story. But here's the key. He doesn't panic. He doesn't poke. He doesn't rush in to fix. He stays grounded, present, safe. He gives her space, not distance, connection, not control. Because he understands this, you don't force a woman to open up. You create the environment where she chooses to. That means being calm, unshaken, centered. That quiet strength, it's magnetic. Most guys mess up by reacting too fast. They interrogate, over-apologize, try to solve problems that haven't been named. And in doing so, they prove they can't hold space. They're ruled by emotion, not in control of it. What wins is stillness. Notice, acknowledge, but don't chase. Let her feel your presence, not your pressure. Because when she feels seen, not managed, she softens. And when she softens, she opens. Remember this, her silence isn't rejection. It's a reflection. If she feels safe around your energy, she'll come closer on her time, not yours. Don't treat every mood shift as a crisis. Women move through emotion like waves. You're not here to stop the ocean. You're here to anchor the boat. Be the man she stops testing and starts trusting. Say it with me. I read the silence. Number 4. Women are attracted to men who are pre-selected. Here's a subtle truth most men overlook. A woman doesn't just see you, she sees how the world, especially other women, respond to you. That's called pre-selection, and it changes everything. Picture this. A man walks into a room alone. Nobody notices. Another enters, surrounded by women who laugh freely, touch his arm lightly, genuinely enjoy his energy. Suddenly, heads turn. That's not luck. That's psychology. Pre-selection is the subconscious signal that a man has already been chosen. And that signal speaks louder than any compliment, cologne, or clever pickup line. It tells her, this man has already passed the test. Other women trust him. He's safe, especially for older women who've been hurt, deceived, disappointed. This matters even more, because they don't just want charm, they want proof. And here's the key, pre-selection isn't something you can fake. It's something you embody. It shows in the way you interact with women, not just romantically, but socially, emotionally, spiritually. It's not about being a player. It's not about collecting attention or numbers. It's about the energy you carry, one that naturally earns trust and respect from high-value women. Maybe it's the way your female friends speak well of you behind your back. Maybe it's how women at work light up when you enter the room. Maybe it's how strangers feel safe around you without effort. Women, especially mature ones, notice the micro-signals. Your posture, your calm presence, your emotional fluency, the way you make others feel. Pre-selection is woven into all of it. And here's the twist. The more you try to impress, the weaker it becomes. Because true pre-selection isn't loud. It's unbothered. It's the quiet confidence of a man who knows he's already enough. Think about it. When no other woman seems interested in you, what happens? She begins to wonder, why is he emotionally unavailable? Socially off, hiding something. Lack of pre-selection breeds uncertainty, and uncertainty kills attraction. So how do you build authentic pre-selection, especially if you're not currently dating? You start with your life. Live in a way that attracts connection. Be socially generous. Be emotionally consistent. Treat women with respect without expecting anything back. Don't posture. Don't perform. Just be a man worth knowing. Because women can feel the difference between someone who wants validation and someone who's already been validated by how he lives. And when you live that way, something shifts. You don't chase approval. You don't seek to impress. You don't hunt connection. You become it. And that's when she notices, not because you forced her to, but because your value was already showing long before she ever looked your way. Now say it with me. I attract effortlessly. Number 5. If she teases you, she's interested. Most men misunderstand teasing. They think it's rejection, criticism, or a sign she's not into them. But in reality, it's often the opposite, especially when it comes from older, emotionally mature women. Teasing is one of their favorite tools of attraction. It's indirect. It's playful. It's strategic. When a woman jokes about your clothes, raises an eyebrow at your confidence, or calls you a troublemaker with a grin. She's not mocking you. She's inviting you. Teasing creates tension, and tension creates attraction. It's her way of saying, I see you. Now let's see how you handle pressure. Because in that moment, she's not just laughing. She's testing your frame. Can you stay calm? Can you laugh with her without losing yourself? Can you tease back without turning defensive or needy? That's the real game. And most men fail it. They freeze. They explain themselves. They apologize for no reason. And just like that, the energy dies. Because if she has to explain the game is over. But the man who passes the test, he doesn't flinch. He smiles. He plays along with confidence and class. He holds his masculine frame while keeping the vibe light. That's what makes him unforgettable. Here's the Stoic truth. A teasing woman is checking your emotional composure, not your IQ, not your muscles, but your ability to stay grounded when the energy shifts. Older women especially don't want a man who cracks easily. They want a man who knows who he is and doesn't get rattled. So when she teases you, don't back off. Don't overanalyze her. Match her playfulness with presence. One clever response. One calm smile. That's enough to signal, I'm not just a man. I'm a man who gets women. But don't get it twisted. If her teasing turns disrespectful, if it cuts, mocks, or shames, that's not flirtation. That's projection. Or worse, manipulation. A Stoic man knows the line. He can engage in the game, but he walks away when it becomes toxic. Because he's not here to prove himself. He's here to connect with someone who respects the play. So remember this, teasing isn't just banter. It's flirtation. It's foreplay. It's emotional chemistry in motion. And if you can stay composed under pressure, she'll feel something she can't explain, but won't forget. That's how you leave an imprint. By staying playful, not performative. Be holding your masculine ground, while still enjoying the moment. Now it's your turn. If you're done overreacting and ready to respond like a Stoic, drop this in the comments. I stay playful. Because that's what separates the forgettable from the magnetic. Number 6. Women prefer men who understand their unspoken language. Here's something most men never learn. Women don't always say what they feel, especially older women. They've been through enough to know that words aren't always the safest path. So instead, they show you with body language, tone, silence, and energy. A glance, a pause, a shift in the way she looks at you. That's her speaking. And if all you hear is the literal sentence, you're missing most of the message. Because women, especially emotionally seasoned ones, communicate in layers. What she says is only one part. How she says, it is where the truth lives. Here's an example. She says, I'm fine, but her voice is flat. She won't look at you. Her shoulders are stiff. Is she fine? Not even close. But she's not going to spell it out. Why? Because she's testing something deeper. She's watching to see if you can pick up what others miss. This isn't manipulation. This is emotional intelligence. It's how women gauge connection, especially when they care. And the men who stand out, they're not guessing. They're attuned. They don't panic. They don't push. They notice. They observe the shift in tone, the energy behind the silence, the distance in her touch, and they don't try to fix it. They hold space. They stay grounded and give her the room to open when she's ready. That kind of presence, it's rare. And it's deeply attractive because it says, this man doesn't need to be told everything. He just gets it. Women trust that kind of man. They soften around him. They reveal more without being asked. That's emotional leadership. And it builds something stronger than attraction. It builds respect. See, most guys either react too fast or back off too soon. They misread the signs, then blame her for being confusing. But here's the truth. Women aren't confusing. They're complex. And if you want to connect, you have to learn the language beneath the words. So start paying attention. Watch how she shifts when she feels safe. Notice what changes when she's unsure. Respond not with scripted lines, but with stillness, awareness, and presence. That's what creates depth. And more than that, it sharpens you as a man, because the ability to understand what's not said, that's real power. Quiet power. And women sense it instantly. So next time she goes silent, don't panic. Just stay still. Stay calm. Stay connected. Then respond from clarity, not insecurity. If you're the kind of man who hears beyond words, drop it in the comments. I hear without words. That's the difference between being noticed and being chosen. Number 7. Women are concerned about appearance during intimacy. Here's something most men miss, but once you get it, it changes everything. During intimacy, a woman isn't only thinking about pleasure or connection. She's thinking about how she looks, not because she's vain, but because she's human and vulnerable. She may want you, desire you, even love you, and still be wondering, do I look good in this light? Is he seeing my wrinkles? What does my body look like right now? This isn't shallow. It's the result of years of silent pressure, biology, culture, and constant reminders that a woman's value fades with age. Society told her youth means beauty, and softness means worth. So, now, even when she feels desire, a part of her hesitates, not because she doesn't want you, but because she's stuck in her head, not present in her body. And in that moment, how you respond means everything. If you rush, if you focus only on your own pleasure, if you don't take time to truly see her, you confirm her worst fears. But the man who pauses, who looks into her eyes, who moves slowly, with appreciation, not entitlement, he changes everything. He doesn't touch her to take, he touches her to admire. He speaks not just with compliments, but with presence. He makes her feel beautiful without her having to ask. That kind of presence, it's rare, it's powerful, and it builds trust on a level most men never reach. Because for women, intimacy isn't just physical, it's emotional, it's psychological. It's about how she feels in her own skin. If she feels judged, even subtly, she'll retreat. But if she feels seen, safe, wanted, she'll open in ways that surprise you. Let me tell you something most men never realize. When a woman feels fully accepted, she becomes more playful, more confident, more expressive, because now it's no longer performance. It's connection. So next time you're with a woman, especially one older, remember this. What you say in those moments isn't just small talk. It's a mirror. She hears your tone as truth. Let your presence say you're beautiful right now, not 10 years ago, not filtered, not fixed. That kind of masculine energy doesn't just turn her on, it earns her trust. Now, if you're the kind of man who makes her feel beautiful, drop this in the comments. I make her feel beautiful. Number 8. Emotional connection enhances physical pleasure. Let's clear something up. if you want to be unforgettable. It's not about what you do in bed. It's about how she feels with you, not just physically, emotionally. Most men focus on the act. They miss the atmosphere. They think chemistry comes from looks or technique, but it doesn't. True desire, especially for older women, starts with energy, emotional energy. It's how she feels in your presence. Not whether you're perfect, but whether you're tuned in, if she feels emotionally safe, if she feels truly seen. Everything changes. Her body lets go. Her mind stops racing. She stops analyzing every move. What replaces it? Presence, trust, openness. And with that, her desire doesn't just rise, it awakens. Now look, you don't need to turn into a poet. You don't need to overexpress emotions. You need to notice. If you're chasing the moment, trying too hard, she'll feel it and pull away. But if you're grounded, relaxed, and actually present, she'll feel that too. And that's when real intimacy starts. Because for women, pleasure isn't just about sensation, it's about surrender. And surrender only happens when she feels secure, when she knows exactly where she stands with you. So give her that clarity. Let your presence say, you're safe with me. You're wanted not for validation, but for who you are right now. That's when the walls drop. That's when she flows instead of overthinks. There's a reason, she says. It's how he made me feel. That's not just sweet talk. That's biology. Her nervous system responds to emotional alignment. Safety feels like sensuality in her brain. And no, this kind of connection doesn't take months to build. It can happen in minutes with eye contact, with truth, with stillness. When you stop performing and start being fully there, everything changes. No rush, no pressure, no ego, just quiet confidence. And here's the twist, when she feels emotionally bonded, she becomes more bold, more playful, more open. Why? Because she's not worrying. She's not calculating. She's just being. And that's when things go from good to unforgettable. So stop chasing validation. Start leading with presence. Emotional connection doesn't make you soft. It makes you irreplaceable. If you're the kind of man who leads with depth, say it out loud in the comments. I connect before I touch. But even when you build deep emotional connection, there's another truth. Most men overlook sometimes. Her deepest feelings are shared more with her closest friends than with you. Number 9. Women often adore their friends more than their partners. This might sting a little, but if you've ever looked at your woman and thought, why does she light up more around her best friends than she does with me? You're not imagining things. You're seeing something real. It's not about jealousy. It's not competition. It's about emotional fulfillment. Here's the truth. Many women feel more seen, more emotionally supported, and more accepted without conditions by their female friends than by the men they date or even marry. And that disconnect, it doesn't come from lack of effort. You might be showing up, being dependable, providing everything, but still feel like you're second to her brunch group or late-night chats. It's not in your head. It's in your approach. See, most men lead with solving. We think love means fixing, protecting, or providing. But women don't crave solutions. They crave connection, not answers, but presence. While you're out there solving problems, her friends are reflecting her emotions, mirroring her energy, validating her experience. No agenda, no fixing, just resonance. And to many women, Emotional resonance is intimacy. Now, does that mean you should act like her girlfriends? Absolutely not. You're not her emotional twin. You're her man. But it does mean you can't neglect your emotional leadership if she doesn't feel that same warmth, curiosity, and openness from you that she gets from them. She starts drifting. Slowly, quietly, she begins to share less. Turn to them before she turns to you. You'll feel it in her tone, her energy, her silence. But here's the good news, you can change it. Start by listening without trying to fix. Speak without shutting down. Care about her inner world, not just your role in it. When you become the man she can talk to, not just rely on, something changes. You're not just someone she loves. You're someone she trusts with her truth. And once emotional trust is built, the need to outsource that connection fades. Not because her friends don't matter, but because you've stepped into your masculine depth. You don't need to compete. You need to lead emotionally. Because when she sees that side of you, that rare balance of strength and sensitivity, her attraction doesn't just return, it grows. So, if you've ever felt like she gives more of herself to her friends than to you, don't get bitter. Get better. Ask yourself, am I connecting with her emotionally, or just showing up with routine? That one shift could bring her back, not out of guilt, but out of desire. Drop this in the comments if you're done being second place, I lead emotionally. Because when you understand how to hold emotional space for a woman, you'll also begin to notice the signs she gives you, even when she says nothing at all. Number 10. Some women accept dates just for free food. Let's get brutally honest. Not every woman who agrees to a date is interested in you. Some are interested in the menu, not the man. Sound harsh, it is. But it's also true. There's even a term for it now, foodie call. Not a date, not a romantic spark, just a free meal disguised as interest. She knows from the start she has no intention of connecting, no intention of getting to know you, but she'll gladly accept that steak dinner and glass of wine while scrolling her phone under the table. Now, before you start blaming all women, stop. Not every woman does this. Not even most. But some do. And that's enough reason to be aware, because this isn't just about being used. It's about what kind of man you are. If you're leading with your wallet, hoping the right ambiance, wine list, and bill total will buy you chemistry, you've already lost. That's not attraction. That's a transaction. And guess what? She knows the difference. The moment a woman senses you're trying to impress her with perks instead of presents, she stops respecting you. Not because you're generous, but because you're desperate. Here's the Stoic truth. Your value is not what you spend. It's how you carry yourself. So instead of asking, where should I take her, ask, does she even deserve my energy? If you want to test real interest, don't offer dinner. Offer presents. Suggest a walk, a coffee, something simple, low pressure, low cost, no show, no performance, just you. Why? Because in that space, there's nothing for her to extract. No fancy lighting, no gourmet distraction, just your words, your energy, your essence. And that's where real attraction reveals itself. If she flakes because you didn't offer a 5-star evening, be glad. She just showed you her values. You didn't lose her. You saved yourself. But what if I enjoy treating women? You should, when it's earned, when she brings something of equal emotional value, not when she shows up empty and expects full service. Generosity is a gift, not a strategy. And it should never be a replacement for character. So remember this, she won't remember the dessert. She'll remember how she felt in your presence. If you made her feel curious, alive, respected, even if it was just over coffee on a park bench, you left an imprint. It's not the setting, it's the man. So don't bait her with resources. Lead with real value. Because a woman who feels your substance won't care where you are, she'll care who you are. Drop this in the comments if you know your time and energy aren't free samples. I bring the value, because once you stop over-investing in women who don't care, you'll start noticing the ones who do, and they move very differently. And that wraps it up. If even one truth hit you today, don't ignore it. Real growth doesn't happen by accident. It happens when you hear something that challenges you and choose not to scroll past it. So if this message stayed with you, you're not here by mistake. Like the video, subscribe to the Stoic Spirit, and keep walking the path one thought, one insight, one silent breakthrough at a time, because the men who rise aren't the loudest or the flashiest, but the most grounded. We're not chasing attention, we're building presence. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.